What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are going back to the Grips conflict as we continue our coverage of Mobile Suit Zeta, Gundam Define. Last time, Jamatov Hyman planned to take control of Earth's sphere by getting all of the power, but Scirocco wants to get the upper hand. This time, Camille will get a boner, and both the AEUG and the Titans hide out on the moon. So let's get into this. June 12th, UC-0086, home of Melanie Hugh Carbine on the lunar surface. He is meeting with Blex as they are in the early stages of the AEUG. Melanie mentions that Whitebase helped bring an end to the war. He asks if Blex has heard of the Albion. They are planning on creating their own ship designed off of that specific Pegasus-class ship. Of course, we have talked about the Albion in our coverage of UC-0083. Go give that a watch if you haven't. Blex thanks Melanie, but he says that it will come down to mobile suit superiority. A voice from outside says, then I will fund that as well. It is Wong Lee. He is the money man and has no issue financing mobile suits as well. Melanie tells Blex to send Quattro and his men to AE in Granada in a few days, and they will be introduced to the lead weapons designer. A few days later, Quattro meets with the lead designer, Kylie Johnson. He wonders if there is a mobile suit that they would like to use as a base for this new prototype. Andy and Ricardo are there as well. Quattro wonders if Andy's MS-06F is adequate, but it is now archaic and no amount of modding will make it superior to modern machines. The Gelgoog is too sensitive for Ricardo and Andy, and the Dom is now discontinued. Andy mentions that the Tusha Schwartz was a modified Dom. This makes Ricardo sad. Andy thinks of Yayoi. To learn more about Ricardo and Yayoi's relationship, go check out our coverage of Char's deleted affair. It's not a sex thing. Or is it? Kylie says that they may have one suit, but it is a bulky boy. We cut to the hangar where Quattro lands. He has completed his test with the GPO-2 Physalis. Kylie introduces Quattro to Alexander, who helped design the GP series, and wonders what he thinks of the mobile suit. Quattro hates it. Kylie and Alexander are concerned over what they can develop for Quattro's needs. They need to bring in someone familiar with the Psychomu system. They bring in Sumari. She helped develop the Schneeweiss and is familiar with Psychomu systems. Sumari believes that she can fulfill most of the requirements needed for this mobile suit, but they will need to run live tests and not simulated tests. Kylie gives her a chance. They begin the R&D process. Sumari visits Kylie. He plans on transferring Alexander, who is stifling design. She informs Kylie that none of the frames are currently strong enough. Gundarium alloy and ceramic composite are just not good enough. They need to use it. She is referring to Gamma. Kylie allows her to use it. A few months later, Quattro tests out an incomplete Proto-Gamma. The RX-098 prototype Rick Diaz, also known as the Proto-Gamma, is the prototype to the Rick Diaz series. It is named after the new Gundarium Gamma alloy and is the test bed for this new metal. It is designed for agility and contains thruster binders which function as shields. The cockpit is in the torso but will later be changed to the head for the Rick Diaz. It is equipped with a powerful hyperbeam saber, a prototype clay bazooka with an immobilization feature, and a beam pistol. Quattro is amazed by the mobile suit. He wants to know who designed this suit, but Alexander takes credit. He says to make sure the same team builds their mass-produced version. Back in the present, on Granada, the Alexandria is being resupplied at EFF's base. Major Shelley Page is working with the mechanics to build a perfect mobile suit to fit her needs. Jared comes in and gazes upon the Marasai. She notices Jared and asks him if Emma really did defect. She wonders how Jared happened to survive. He claims it is because of the Major's training. She says there are no Marasais for him. She asks Jared to assist her in installing a training machine in her room later. Ooh. Bright wants to talk to Rekkawa and Emma in his quarters. Ooh. He needs help dealing with Camille. Oh, that isn't as sexy as the other one. Rekkawa says that he handled Amado Ray. Bright tells them that he thinks that he was too hard on him. He says that having kids have made him a little soft. Also, Amado's parents were alive. Camille's parents just got wrecked. Did you see that shit? That was crazy. Dude is going to be seeing those images in his mind for decades. What he needs most right now is family. They could be that family for him, but it is going to take time for him to heal. Emma goes to talk to him. She thinks that she could talk to him pilot to pilot. She goes in to visit Camille. He wants her to leave, but instead she tells him a story about how the crew will most likely never trust her because she was a Titan. But despite all of that, she is proud of becoming an AEUG member. I wonder if Emma states this to show to the audience that she is kind of the anti-Rekkawa. Rekkawa will soon defect because she isn't heard or validated. But Emma is stating that she will persevere regardless of the people around her. I could be reading into this, but I find this statement pretty fascinating. Camille says that he can never come back from something so painful. He helped Emma make the decision to fight for the AEUG, so she will be there for him now. She gives him a hug. She says that all we could do is be empathetic for one another. Camille starts crying. His hug gets a little gentler. Emma realizes that he is burying his face in her boobs. She reaches down to realize that he has an erection. Emma realizes that he is a normal, healthy boy. I don't like these words coming out of my mouth right now. She leaves him alone and tells him to get some rest. She says she will keep this incident private. Camille is quite embarrassed. Blex is meeting with Melanie. They think it is a trap, but the financiers want the AEUG to do a full-on attack on Jaburo, EFF's headquarters. So Wong is just being a dick. They talk about how they need to keep an eye on Paptimus Scirocco. Like Shar Aznable, he is no ordinary man. On the outskirts of the Earth sphere, the Jupitrus is picking up a ship close to them. It is the Alexandria-class ship, the Hario. Like when he met with the AEUG, he is also going to head out in his Masala to meet with the Titans. But this time, he asks his men to give him only enough propellant for a one-way trip. Meanwhile, at the other Alexandria ship being resupplied on the moon, Gaddy asks Jamaicon about Shelley Page. She is Basque's favorite. In UC-0073, there was a famous gymnast known as the Gymnastics Princess. Her name was Olga Timoshenko. Major Shelley is Olga Timoshenko. She later joined EFF during the One-Year War. Gaddy wonders why he has never heard of her before. It is because her methods are questionable. She disregards orders and puts her teammates in a position to be killed. After the war, she was promoted for her duty, but she was never publicly honored. Shelley happens to be listening to their conversation. She interrupts and says that her former commander was sending people out to their death. She disregarded her commands because of this. However, she does mention she would gladly sacrifice for the greater good. But don't worry, she won't destroy their ship. Jamaicon doesn't seem to believe her. Back in Shelley's room, Jared is helping her build a sex machine. It is designed to build and maintain muscles in a ship that doesn't have a gravity block. Wait, are there ships in UC that have gravity blocks outside of the colonies? As Jared makes his leave, he gets a call from Basque. She was brought on the team to specifically take down the Argama. Basque wants her to add Jared to the Musai team. She will report back when the Argama is destroyed. On the Alexandria ship the Hario, they are out scouting and are very bored. They think it is pointless. Suddenly, they actually receive a signal from another ship. It is Scirocco and his Masala. He is pretending to be in distress and that he needs resupplies. They don't want to let the ship on board the Hario, but they are able to ID it. It is before the EFF reorganization, so it doesn't come up on their database as quickly. They bring him on board. While on board, the commander, Ted Ayachi, informs them of the situation regarding the AEUG and how they have been assigned to find any anti-EFF organizations. He also lets him know that his EFF ID is invalid because they reorganized the Titans to assume all control. He wonders why Ted hesitated when responding to his superior officer. Ted informs Scirocco that Titan's ranks are 2 ranks higher than a regular EFF commander. Scirocco makes it clear to Ted, they are not equals. He is superior to him in every way. This is a fascinating dynamic. Ted is a higher rank than Scirocco, but he is cowering in fear over him. Typically, it is rare for the fascist Titans to ever cower, even when they are wrong. It is clear that Ted knows Scirocco from the past, but this manga does rush it a little bit. Seeing a Titans member cower in fear means that Scirocco must be no joke, which is necessary to show that Scirocco is a threat. It's just done so abruptly. The execution is all weird. Scirocco hides the fact that he met with the AEUG already. He also tells Ted that he plans on making his crew Titans members and to never inform the Titans HQ that he was here. Scirocco came to Earth earlier than expected. He doesn't waste time and uses the fact that he shouldn't be in Earth's sphere yet to his advantage. On the main Alexandria, Shelley tells Jamaicon that the Marasais are still 10 days out until repairs are done. She suggests that they make their way to Anaheim Electronics to make some mods on the mobile suits. She wants to paint the Marasai's Titans black as well as modify the antenna. In Anaheim Electronics, Quattro is in Sumeri's room waiting to meet with her. He stares at a picture of Sumeri and Natalie. Now that Alexander has been transferred, Sumeri tells Quattro that Anaheim has shifted to a system that allows the pilot direct input to the design, thanks to him. Engineer Edward was a part of Operation V and is very fond of the Gundam. Quattro wonders if the Zero Shiki and the Nemo are Gundam types. It is somewhere between the RX-78 and the Type 06. Sumeri says that if Char had access to a Gundam, the war would have ended differently. He thinks she is just flattering him. She keeps calling him Commander and reminds her to stop once they leave this room. Shelley talks to Jared about putting him on the team. He must be a decent pilot if he is still alive. She wonders if that red mobile suit is the Red Comet. She laments about not having met him during the One-Year War. She wants to see his skills for herself. They go to the simulator. Quattro finally gets a chance to look at the Zero Shiki. The MSZ-000 Zero Shiki is a general-purpose mobile suit based off of the data from the Rick Diaz along with the Delta Gundam. Similar backbinders were added to the unit, which was taken directly from the Rick Diaz's booster binders. Amada Ray will later pilot this unit and remove the binders to add a new flight unit. This will later be abandoned for the updated Shiki, which isn't built off of the Zero Shiki, but rather they go back to the Delta Gundam as a base and start over. It is equipped with 60mm Vulcans, a beam saber, a beam rifle, a beam cannon, and a balut system. He notes that they painted it red. They have 10 days until they depart. He is anxious to pilot the machine. Shelly gets a team together to run a simulation. Jared will have to back her up. Once they start, Jared is in shock as Shelly simultaneously shoots down 6 enemies. Jared wasn't able to do anything before the battle was already over. Shelly tells him that he has to get a hold of the situation faster and how important it is to control the chaos of everything. It doesn't matter how good you are, if you are surrounded, you are dead. She tells him that no matter what, you must never resort to close quarters combat. Using a beam saber should be a last resort. Yeah, why would you ever resort to fighting in close combat? It's quite a... Huh? Oh, right, it looks really cool. Everyone is on the new AEUG ship, the Radish. The Titans are leaving the moon in 3 days. Once they leave, they will probably spread Minovsky particles everywhere. They plan on following them 20 minutes after they depart. 3 days later, the Titans prep for launch. Shelly has a bad feeling about this and asks if she could go out for a test flight after they launch. She pretty much forces Jamaicon. Once she boards the Marusai, she notes that the energy in the beam rifle is completely drained. Jamaicon informs her that Anaheim Electronics has a batteries not included policy. She is frustrated and cuts off Jamaicon's communication before launching. The Radish launches as well. They spot Minovsky particles and wonders what they are doing. Quattro notes that the dark side of the moon is the perfect place to test a new mobile suit, and that is most likely what they are doing. But for that to happen, a mobile suit must have to endure looping around the moon before getting picked up. Quattro may have to do the same. He prepares to launch the Zero Shiki. And that will do it for this episode. As much as Char's deleted affair waxes and wanes in terms of story, I do love seeing it retconned into Zeta. It works and provides more motivation. Also, Camille gets a boner. Never change, Tamino. Never change. Next time, we will finally see the Zero Shiki launch and Char will fight against Shelly. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, when you are feeling down, give your coworker a hug. Peace.